Welcome all to the weekly outlook. Boone here from EWPRO. So if we get into it, starting with the DXY, we got this 5 down here. Then we got WXY. Looking at this as X2, and then possibly get this Z up. We do have that bullish hidden divergence here. It's not valid to trade just yet. So if we look down onto the H4, like I've been saying, we've got this complete structure in here with the 333, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, completing the complex correction 333, and then we've just got this sharp move down. So I've been waiting for, well, we really need to wait to see if that bull hidden plays out. Like I said, it's not valid, that bull hidden, to trade as bull hidden. So now we've got a break out of here. This can either just turn into a correction up to the 50 fib and then more downside, invalidating that bull hidden, or that bull hidden plays out and we get a bullish flag in here, or bullish correction in here, you know, to give us that 5 up, breaking the top. Well, not that top there, but this other top. Oh no, that's the top there, yeah, breaking that top, giving us that Z up. So if we have a look onto the H1, we're looking for that Z down. We got the Z down. We got a nice impulse up. So if you get a bullish flag in here, look for the buy. You know, your first target will be that 50 fib, and you know, you can hold it, and look for your second target, that 161.8 extension of this for that daily bull hidden. So just wait and see if you get a bullish setup and take the bullish setup. AU on the daily, we didn't get quite to that 100 fib. Nowhere near that 100 fib really. And this is looking very corrective. We do have bull hidden here, I think. Yeah, we do have possible bull hidden. So like I've been saying, we can look at this as a flat here, for a larger A, B, C. If we go down onto the H4, we did have A, B, C down. So that sort of confirms that bull hidden on this one. We can sort of look at this as some sort of a flat in here for more upside. It's pretty difficult because, like I said last week, we can also look at this here as a flat in here for an A, B, C. So really, if you're going to buy, you can only buy above this top now, because I'm pretty sure on the H1 we were looking for that Z up last week, and we did get that. So we got this W, X, Y, X, and a Z. This one broke the top, so we're coming from a top. So if you do get any sell setups, you can look for the sell. We've got that bearish divergence. We've got all that bearish divergence. So this one here, just looking for this to go and break the top. This one didn't quite break the top, I don't think, but this one did. So we can look at this as our correction here. Doesn't matter where you put it. So we did end up getting that W, X, Y, X, Z breaking the top with bearish divergence. We've got a breakdown. We've got a nice impulse down. So if you get any bearish setup, you can look for the sell. You'll have to be careful because, like I said, we can get that flat as well, that larger flat on the H4. So keep tight stops. EU on the daily. This one again didn't get anywhere near that 100 fib. We just got WXY looking at X2 and then as possible Z down. We do have that possible bear hidden here in play. H4. We completed this structure with the 333 again. What DXY, we've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now we're broken up. Will that bear hidden play out? We've broken out of this trend line, only just. So will that bear hidden play out now? It's not valid. The daily bear hidden is not valid. That's the problem. We haven't got confirmation on the bear hidden, unfortunately. So if you look on the H1 though, we got the WX, extended wave Y, X2, and then we got the Z up. It did last week, it only got to the 123.6 and then gave a correction and spiked up to the 161.8, and then we got the it fell over, breaking the trend line. So you can see by the arrows what I'm looking for. We're just looking for an A, B, C. So if you do get any correction in here, look for that, because your first target will be that 50 fib or the 100 fib of the ABC. But it can turn motive if this daily wants to go and that bear hidden, even though it's not hadn't given confirmation, they still do go sometimes. So it may turn into motive like W, X, Y, X2, and then a Z breaking the low. So any setup you get, sell setup, I'd be looking for the sell because it can turn motive. GU on the daily. Again, like I've been saying, this is looking very choppy. So like I've been saying, we can start to look at this as a possible flat in here, running flat on the daily. We do have the bearish divergence. This one gave the Z down on the H4. So we got that W, X, Y, X, Z breaking the low. We got a nice impulse up. This can be an A, B, C in here for more upside. Or we can look at this again as a flat, some sort of a flat in here for an A, B, C. Then you get that A, B, C. If we go down to the H1, last week I was looking for that X, Z up, I think. By the look at this, never got it. So again, we can start looking at this as either an A, B, C, or we got that larger flat and this is going down from here for a large C down. This was looking very corrective. You know, it's looking very corrective, and we are getting that A, B, C in here. More than likely, we don't have any bullish divergence. So if you get any flags, you know, look for the sell. It was a very deep pullback. So you have to be careful with these deep pullbacks. Like this B wave was very deep. So, you know, you have to be careful of that. because it can just turn into a flat. Just get rid of this. So it can just be an A, B, C. But we don't have any bullish divergence. So if you're looking for the buy, you need that impulse up and a little flag to buy. At this stage, I'd be only looking for the sells. You know. And you on the daily, this one here, we've got this possible bull hidden. It's not valid. Again, not many of the hidden divergences are valid. We got bearish divergence and a possible bull hidden. So on the H4, so we got a WXY, a WXY. We're getting an X2, and we can get that Z up, possible Z up. This may turn into some sort of a flat here for that wave Y, X2, and then a Z. So you have to be careful of that going short if you're looking for the short. So on the H1, we got a WX, Y, X, and a Z up. Now we're breaking out of the trend line. This trend line in here. So you can really only look for sells. Even if it's only a C down in this X2. So you really can only look for sells. Now, if you get a correction in here on the H1, well, you can look for that A, B, C. So really, we're only looking for the sell, and then like after we get the ABC, well, then we'll see if we get a buy set up on here, you know, for the Z up. But at this stage, I'm only looking for the sell. We got bearish divergence and a bearish convergence in here as well. So I'm only looking for the sell on this one at this stage on the H1. UY on the daily. So we did get the cross down on the MACD. I'm looking for this like A, B, C. The unfortunate thing is this C wave didn't break the top of wave A. Now, is it a contracting flat? Well, you know, we can look at that, but we're not going to know for sure. It's a contracting flat until it's complete, basically. On the H4, we've still got this extended wave. Like I've been saying, we've still got this possible extended wave. Now, we didn't get down to the 50 fib, invalidating that X2. This is looking, you know, a lot larger. You know, that's a lot larger correction. But it still can play out for that Z up, breaking the top. Getting up to this 100 fib. Yeah, it did give a buy setup during the week, which I took, but it's getting risky. I was looking more for a correction in here, and it still may turn into a correction. So we'll just have to wait and see. See, there was a little, last week we're in here, and I said, well, this can be an A, B, C in here for another one to go and break the low. Now, it didn't do that. Instead, it gave a correction in here. It was quite a deep correction. So I gave this correction in here and didn't break the low for that flat that I said could be possible last week. There's a little flag in here, but now you got a larger correction in here. You've broken the top, so you can look for the buy. It's sort of stayed up here for a fair while, but it is Friday, so it was on Friday. So yeah, you can, if this stays up here and gives you another little flag up here, well, you can look for the buy. The Swissy on the daily. All my drawings are gone. Yeah. Oh well, we got A, B, C, looking at that as that flat for one more down. We're on A, B, C. Not sure why all my counts have gone on this one, but yeah. So now we really have to wait. We got a bull convergence here. We had the 5 down. We had W, X, Y, X2 and a Z down, giving us that bullish divergence. This can be an A. We can get 3A. You can get 3 A waves. You can get an A, and then you'll get a B and a C, and then you get that A, B, C, and then you get that A, B, C. So really we need to see what happens here. If this is going to be the flat, this is going to be the larger flat, we'll get a correction in here, a bearish correction to sell. Or we get that, you know, that larger correction for more upside. So we really have to wait and see what we get now. If you go down to the H4, all my counts are gone on this one. Well, look at it for some reason. It doesn't matter. So we got this trend line break in here. I was waiting for, well, there's nothing really on the H4. We just got one move down. So we go down to the H1. And we got a larger correction in here. We got, it's feeling that I've lost all the count. Won't waste the time with that. But we got a larger correction in here. This was our larger correction. So we did got 5 down. We got W, X, Y, X, and a Z down in here, an A, B, C, and then we've got another one down. So while this trend line holds, you still can look for sell. We don't have any bullish divergence here. Or do we? Yes, we do have bullish divergence, sorry. So ideally what we'd like to see for the buy is break above here. Then give us a correction or a flag for more upside. We're at lows. You have to be careful of that daily though. You know, that daily can go and break the low. But we are looking for a larger correction, you know, like the H4 correction. So back to the 50 fib, at least back to the 50 fib. So that's your first target, that 50 fib. UCAD on the daily. This was the one that we never got a clean breakout of this trend. Now we're getting, we're nowhere near that 100 fib of this A, B, C. So the 100 fib's right down here. We got an internal A, B, C in here, and we're getting a lot of bullish divergence. So there's no way I want to be, you know, selling down here. Like I've been saying, last week we were looking at this as the A, B, C. I said look for yourselves to go and break the low. Well, we've got that. We don't have any bullish divergence on the H1, so you can still look for sells, but only scalping, you know. Yeah, I'll be more inclined to wait for a bullish setup. Any bullish setup I get, I'll take. GBP Japan on the daily. Like I said last week, looking for a larger correction, looking for this a correction this size. This can be internal to go up to that 161.8 and then give us that larger correction before we get the Z up. On the H4, we've got on the H4 we've got that extended wave again. We may have these extended waves. So we got the extended wave in wave Y. So we got that WX, Y, X2, and we can possibly get that Z up. We do have that bullish divergence in here. On the H1, you can really only look for buys. We've broken out. We got that A, B, C down. I don't think it gave us a convergence here, which is strange. No, we didn't get a convergence, so that's quite weird. Usually we'd get a convergence here with the higher high. We got a higher high, but no convergence. We actually got bearish divergence on here. So you have to be really careful with this one, actually. I didn't notice that. I thought we had bullish convergence. So now we really got to wait. Will it give us a bear flag or bear correction for more downside, for at least a C down, or will it give just a C down and then more upside for that X2, for that Z up? You really have to wait for the correction. Now, we got a nice impulse down. We got a nice impulse up, and we just got an impulse down. So that means nothing. You know, like I said, we can get 1, 2. You can get 3 impulses in a row before you get the correction. After the third impulse, you'll definitely get a correction for an A, B, C. Then you get the A, B, C as a running flat or expanding, and then you get another one up for the large A, B, C. So really, we need to see what correction. We've got to wait for a flag or a correction to give us a direction. What it's going to do is that H4 X2 going to play out and give us a Z up, or is that the top here? Is that the top of the whole wave and this is corrective to go and break this low? So we'll have to wait to see what this does in here. Too early to tell at this stage. EG, well, on the daily, looking for that A, B, C. The H4. This doesn't look big enough for the correction. So this is very slow here. We got a nice bullish flag on the H4 here, but it hasn't gone. I was looking for, you know, this to go. It's not going. So this may be an A, B, C here. Then you get that A, B, C. Then we get the A, B, C, or a wave Y. Sort of, if we go down to the H1, you'll see that it's we've got a nice correction. You've got the first breakout here, come straight back under. Now it's breaking out again, and it's just staying in here. If you do take this, you definitely want to keep tight stop loss, because it's not going. But it was Friday, so you know, when it broke, so you could give it a little bit of time, but it's, yeah, it's not the best, because if it was going to go, it should go straight away. So you just have to be a bit careful with it. EY on the daily, we got up to that 100 fib, and we've broken back down below it now. So we do have that bearish divergence as well on the on the daily. On the H4, we don't have any bearish divergence. So we can look at this as a W, X, Y, X, Z. So we may get an X2 here before we get a Z up to finish off the wave C. We got the bearish divergence on the wave C. It's got to the 100 fib. So this is your flat in here, W, X, Y. I'll just see if that did get up to the 100 fib here, or how far it got. Looks like it got to at least the 100 fib. Yeah, so we broke above the 100 fib. So look for the X2 on the H1. You can look for the sell. Yeah, see, we got them ball hidden here. We've got ball hidden, so you have to be careful. I don't think it'll be confirmed. It's not confirmed, but yeah, you have to be careful. You really want to see a bearish flag or correction in here, and then look for the sell. Other than that, you can't really look for the buy until you get 3 down, you know, and then you can look for that buy. But yeah, we just got to wait for these corrections pretty much this week. Wait for your flag to give you the direction on most of these pairs. They're all doing the same thing basically. They gave us that move down on Friday. Looking at gold on the daily, we're looking for a correction a similar size to this over here. Like I said, we can get up to this trend line again. Looking at this on the H4 as a correction, because we got such a deep pullback. Right, we've got an ABC. This is looking bullish still. So if we have a look on the H1, we got that Z up W, X, Y, X, Z. Then last week I was looking for that W, X, Y, X, Z as a motive pattern if this is going to finish. Well, that didn't happen. So we never got that motive structure down. So I remove that. Now we've got an ABC. We got this flat in here. Do we have bullish divergence? Yes, we do. So we may get another 5 up like this over here. And you are getting a bullish setup here. So you're getting a bullish flag here. You can look to take that to go and at least break that top. And like I said, on the daily, we can get up to that trend line, you know. So yeah, there is a little bit of room up. WTI on the daily. So we bounced off that 100 fib. Bounced clean off the 100 fib. Excuse me. With bearish divergence. Now we're getting an A, B, C. I'm looking for that A, B, C. At least a correction. I'd like it to come back down to this 50 fib to give us the risk reward for more upside. But it's looking very shallow, the correction. This has taken ages. So we got 5 down in here. Then we were looking for the correction. When I look at this now, we got an A, B, C in here. Then we get that A, B, C in here. Then we got that larger A, B, C. So this can be the end of the move here before we get another 5 down. A, B, C. So I'm only looking for shorts here now. We can change this to what the structure looks like now. Before we didn't really know what the structure was. You can sort of look at it like this. So we got that A, B, C, A, B, C. So this is your flat in here. For the larger A, B, C. I think it's over. We do have bearish divergence now. So if you get a bearish setup, look for the sell. During the week, I was looking on the H1. I was looking for an A, B, C as a flat in here. That never happened. It never played out. I actually took this buy in here because this failed. I put the idea out on TradingView for a C down. That failed and it gave it this here, and I bought that just to go and break that top just for a scalp. But now look for that sell. You know, if you get a bearish flag in here, look for the sell. Instead, if it just gives you an A, B, C in here, break, then you can look for the buy. But you know, that'll be at least a week away. So at this stage, wait for your correction or flag in here and look for the sell. I think that's the safest option. Bitcoin on the daily, sort of looking at this a little bit different now. I'm not sure if I gave this away during the week or last week, but I'm looking at, we got that WXY, and I'm looking at this as the correction in here. We got the cross down and we're getting a motive wave up. So I'm looking at this as the flat in here for the Z up. So you got your first and your second target, 161.8 and a 123.6 for your first and second target. On the H4, it did give us a buy setup. I don't know if any of you were looking at it, but you got a little correction in here. Break the top, you could be in that trade. So at least go and break the top, and there's your first and second targets. On the H1, pretty much the same. Why this trend line here holds, look for buys. Because you're going to get them more than likely. You're going to get a motive pattern on the H1. So if we put wave Y at the 161.8 where we usually like to see it, and we'll look for this, look for that motive pattern. So any little flag you get, you can look for buys, first targeting that 161.8 on the H1, and then wait for the X2, and then you get the Z up. SPX. So we're nowhere near that 100 fib. We're getting a lot of bearish divergence. I'm only looking for shorts, really. It's, we had this WXY. Last week I said this isn't large enough correction. We got crossed down, but it's not large enough correction. So I'm looking at it as an A. All this is a B, and we get that C down, and then we get the Z up. It's not looking, it's very choppy. This is very choppy, breaking the top. So if we look on the H1, you can see how choppy it is. You really have to be careful. Sort of got A, sort of got an A, B, C, then you get that A, B, C. This one, it would have been nice if that broke the top, but it's still looking bullish. Like it, you can see this got an impulse up correction. It could be a flat or anything. You're gonna have to be really careful on this. Wait for a nice sell setup, just for that X2C down, and then look for your buys again. The DAX on the daily, so we nowhere near that 100 fib either. We got the bearish divergence. Again, this is giving the same sort of thing. We're getting a WXY, getting that WXY. This one's playing a lot nicer. Get that X2, then wait for your trend line break, bull flag, and trade that Z up, or you can look for the sell in here, but it's going to be dangerous. This may just fall out over, and this is the top. So you can look for the sells why this trend line holds, because I think you do have a trend line in here. Go down on the H1. I think it did break the low. No, it hasn't quite broken the low. So this is more than likely break the low and give a C down. Looks like it's going to give a C down with the bullish divergence. So then wait for this to end and then give us a bull flag. If it's going to be the end of the move, well, it'll go past 100 fib and then give us a bear flag for something to sell. The Ftse on the daily, looking for this A, B, C as a flat, possibly a running flat. We got an A, B, C on the H4. for, didn't quite get to the 100 fib. We got a nice sharp move down, and we had this last week. We were starting to get this. I'll go into the H1. So we were starting to get this. Would have been nice if it fell over there. It still hasn't. It only fell out on Thursday and gave this. I was looking for the sell. I am in a sell up here at break even. This is very deep though. I'm at break even, but this is like A, B, C. It is very deep. So you have to be very careful. A, B, C, for more upside. It's very tricky. This was looking like a nice bearish setup. It's taken all week. Basically, I only got the trade on Friday to sell on it. I might break even, but I am looking for this like A, B, C, A, B, C. You got your first and your second target. So I hope you enjoyed the weekly outlook this week. Please share, comment if you got any questions or suggestions, and enjoy it. And I'll see you out there next week.